Hello everybody and welcome to round number 9 of the Sunoco Elite Series Season 4. We are here at a beautiful hot day here in Sonoma in California for 30 laps around this very extensive road course. It may be a night race. That doesn't mean that it has been steaming hot all day long, which means that this track has actually been pretty slick today, along with the fact that the tires are degrading a lot faster, which is what a lot of people have been fearing. On the front row, it is another Fitzwater Australia front row lockout with Carson Bowers and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. locking the front row. Third time this team has done it this season. It's been a different combination every time. Well, I guess you could say that, because Bowers has been on pole for 2 of them. We'll see if he can get the other one he was on pole for was Watkins Glen, so we'll see if he can get it here today alongside team owner Fitzwater. On row 2, you got a pair of winners this season, Jack Halleck and William Carlson Jr. Both have not had amazing seasons other than their win. They're hoping to turn it around from here. On row 3, you got Benoit Ravine for Trailblazer Motorsports, who has been making a comeback as of lately. Sean Angel kind of started a revolution on that team as he got consistent top 10s since like round 4. And it's kind of started a revolution on this team because Kuznetsov went on to get his win, and it's just exploded for them alongside Chris Dodd, who comes off a second place finish back in Portland last week. So I'm just trying to line up here. We're getting Bowers up here. There we go. And on row 4, you got Roman Rahal, 2-time winner in the series, if I'm correct. No, 3-time winner in this series. He's a very established veteran. That team he's on, his own team, Red Stallion, used to be a rank B a while back, you believe it. Now they're rank D, and really hoping to turn it around, because there's been a little bit of a danger zone. We'll talk about that in a later video. Alongside William Brock, who's in this championship right in the thick of things with Fitzwater. We'll see if he can do something here today to up his championship hopes. And on row 5, you got Nick Pericles, who comes off of a top 5 finish, if I'm correct, back in Portland, trying to come and get one here in in Sonoma. Whoa. And alongside Portland's winner, Adam Vincent, who was able to hold off Chris Dodd, and Adam Vincent looking very strong today, starting P10. We'll see how he can do. Scott Roush had his problems in qualifying. He starts pretty far back in the field, so does Jackson. God, it is so humid here today, though. These tires are going to go off decently quick. The pit stop delta is predicted around 9 laps, which is a struggle because it's a 30-lap race. Is anyone going to be able to stretch it and make it a 2-stopper? That's the question that's going to be imposed today. But as we come around, last corner, no issues, so we will be going green. Carson Bowers trying to seesaw up. The starts are usually a little weird here, but Carson Bowers lead it down to the green flag here in Sonoma for our 4th season here in California. Green flag in the air. Lots of tussling right off the bat for position. Fitzwater and Bowers fighting. There's already a wreck behind. That's in before turn, or I guess you could say it was in turn 1. As they come down the hill, the teammates continue to be side by side as they go back up this hill to this tight right-hander, and then the second tight right-hander right here, as Bowers will get the lead over his teammate and team owner, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Bowers already has 1 win this season, coming at Watkins Glen. As now, you look back here, Roman Rahal trying to make a move on Benoit Ravine, while Dodd's making that move as well. Can Benoit Ravine hold on to it, or will he be giving up a few spots here? Oh, but a struggle in that corner out of Dodd, and that's actually going to push the 7 back by. That's Benoit Ravine getting back, and Roman Rahal is going to jet around the 6, and Roman Rahal gets a position instead. So good job, Roman Rahal. The rank D, he really needs a turnaround for a season. He's trying to make it for himself as he's trying to go around the inside of Benoit Ravine. Let's go look at that incident. It looks like it involved Stu Cole. This would start after you saw Johnson go around there getting clipped, but then Downey would get clipped, go into Rowe. They'd smack Stu Cole, and Stu Cole would go into the wall. And that would be day for Stu Cole, and a lot of people got damage in that. Skywood Johnson and Stephen Thompson in their incident also drove away. So everyone but Stu Cole got away from that incident. Stu Cole has had a good streak going lately. She's top 20 in points, so this is really not going to help her hopes. But as we emerge on lap 2, it's Carson Bowers and Zachary Fitzwater Sr., your top 2 off the start. They're still leading, being tailed by Jack Halleck, who's known for being good around road courses. He proved it last season when he started in this series in Portland. Got podium, so he didn't do as good as he wanted to last week in Portland, but that's because of the lap 2 stack up. We'll see if he can get a good position today, because it's far from over. Anderson overtakes Vincent, and here comes Pericles for the move as well. Anderson on the way up. We could see Max Anderson, your reigning champion, do something. He is 31st in points. He needs a turnaround now if he wants to get any chance at this championship. Shepard, first time back after his sprained wrist. He's still not 100%, so not a lot of people expect him to be amazing today. He's doing what he can. That's what matters. Angel having issues. But we expect it to be pretty calm until these pit stops hit. But once these pit stops hit, we expect it to get a little bit more exciting. So this is just initial tossing a position for track position into the pits, basically. Once the pit stops get underway, though, that's when it gets real. Anderson down the inside of Dodd. He's making moves like crazy. Anderson won this race last season, so he's good around here. It shows as he's now in the 8th position. I see Benoit Ravine got around Carlson, and now Roman Rahal going for it. But the outside proves to be better in that corner, and Carlson's going to get it back. Benoit Ravine, though, now into the 4th position. Like I said, this team's been making a comeback as of late, and it is proving it's Benoit Ravine doing exceptional here today. Like I said, pit stop delta, lap 9. Keep an eye on that. Maybe they could stretch it to 10. As battle between teammates, as Gerard Aron and Paulson are doing battle. Paulson, yeah, Gerard just let him go. He knows Paulson's in this championship. He knows Paulson needs to get a bigger gap on the 38 if he wants to close that points lead down. So Gerard being a good teammate there and is going to tail the back of Paulson from here. As the 3 Clever Hosses are separated by Julio Cesar, who Paulson is now trying to overtake. Paulson isn't known for doing very good in qualifying. He's known for being very fast. But that is a lap 5 pit from your leader. This is really early. Carson Bowers makes a very strange pit call and is in the pit. Does he have an issue? That would be devastating for Fitzwater Australia. No, they're working on those tires. He just made a really early pit stop. Way too early for what I would do. In and out. Carson Bowers, there was no issue for Carson Bowers. He's just pitting. That's very strange. But it's Zachary Fitzwater Sr. now. Will he respond? Is the question. No. Is anyone going to respond to that? No. That was a very strange and very early pit call. I do not recognize why that was logical out of Carson Bowers, seeing with his pace that they still have in these tires. Maybe he worked it too hard at the start, but here is Benoit Ravine tailing the back of Jack Halleck. This is for, as we stand, 2nd place, but a possible provisional 3rd if Bowers' strategy works well. as Carlson's just trying to defend from the 0-1 of Brock. Oh, but look at Brock demands the outside. The Road America winner, and if I'm correct, the Michigan winner, overtakes the position. That's for 4th. Very impressive out of William Brock. Brock has always looked fast everywhere we go. But Benoit Laverne putting on the pressure on the 74. That is Benoit Laverne on Jack Halleck. Brock now in clear air, trying to catch the 7 and the 74. But can Brock get to Benoit Laverne before Benoit Laverne gets away? Because Benoit looks very fast today. If he can get around Jack Halleck, he may be able to challenge Fitzwater. But he just needs to get around Halleck. That's his problem. An issue, but Benoit Laverne, oh, attempted that move. You could see he wants it. But Brock now closing. If I was the Frenchman, I'd start to panic, because if Brock's able to catch you, it's not going to be very fun. He needs to get through Halleck if he wants any chance at this win. Maybe you could get him on the pit stop, because we're about at the Delta now. Fitzwater, are you going to hold out? It was the predicted Delta. It's what everyone was doing in practice. Maybe people had something in the tank to go a little further, though. What about it? Fitzwater stays out. Halleck does not. Brock does not. Carlson will not. Rahal, Vincent, Dodd, Duncan, Caldwell Jones, Caesar, Oran, Jovic, Ray, Jackson, Louison, Scott, Shepard, Mulcher, and Monaco. All in the pits. Hands second place to Benoit Laverne and third to Anderson. For now. We're going to watch the pace car to see who gets out of pits first. There's Jack Halleck in his pit stall. We're going to watch Jack Halleck now. There's Carlson now. The 4-tire call is the big call here, because your tires are degrading fast. You cannot afford a 2-tire stop. These tires are too far gone already. And they recognize that. Brock gets out right behind Halleck. Rahal, Duncan had a good stop. Gained 1 or 2 spots here. Oh, Dodd, so close to the wall, has to slow down. Now we're gonna check in on the leader. Fitzwater's in. Benoit Laverne is in. Anderson is in. Pericles, Arndt, Alog, Paulson, Thin Guy, Dunbar, Thaber, Roush, Windhelm, Kuznetsov, and Baranowskis, as everyone has hit the pits here in Sonoma for your first round around. Now you're starting to, you should be starting to get this picture here that there is going to be some people trying to go all the way to the end on 2 stops. Problem is, can they? There's Thompson out of the pits. He was involved in that original incident on track on that one. Same with Rowe. Is Fitzwater going to be challenged? Doesn't look like it. And Anderson going to be the 3rd one out. Arndt going to slip in front of Lorenzo Log, as we predicted. Oh, Halleck! Right for the move on Fitzwater! Oh, the warmer tires for Jack Halleck are working wonders, and Jack Halleck is in the lead. Brock has damage from exiting the pits. What happened? Brock! Oh, it seems that Bowers just brake checked, it looked like. That was sketchy for Bowers. But that's pretty much going to cost him his race and possibly a steward's inquiry for damaging Brock. So I see Arndt got past a few people. But it's Jack Halleck taking the lead here in Sonoma over Fitzwater, Benoit Ravine, the damaged William Brock, and Max Anderson, rounding out your top 5. Who has a fast lap on track? Benoit Ravine. I kind of expected that. He's been very, very fast today. Jackson gained a few spots. He gained... No, it was more than a few. Because look how far Roush is compared to him. These two were bumper to bumper before. And Roush was just abandoned. He's even ahead of Paulson. So Jackson must have a very fast pit crew today, because he's tailing Dodd and Caesar. And close to Carlson, there's Johnson in for his pit. And Brock back in. What a shame. Brake check by Carson Bowers. 13th for Jackson. That's incredible. And Arndt will be P7 after that. A lot of people gained position through that. There must have been a few people who had issues. Let's look back. Oh, Vincent blows. He has damage. Did anything happen to him? Kuznetsov would be coming out of the pits and would force a 3 wide. And then, yeah, people just got loose. That's just a racing incident there. Kuznetsov is done. Vincent would then blow the motor coming out of the grass. I believe Philip Scott would be able to return very damaged. But I told you chaos would begin once these pit stops happened. Jack Halleck would have an issue as Hurley would be coming out of the pits, and Halleck would not be seeing where he was going. He would clip him, and Halleck, he'd return to the track, would be able to keep going, but he just gave up the lead to Zachary Fitzwater. Benoit Ravine now P2, and Anderson, who won this race last season, is in P3 trying to turn his season around. Arndt versus Lorenzo Log. This is for 7th. But Arndt not giving up just yet. Lorenzo Log got loose. That may be all Arndt needs to keep that position. I heard another smack of some sort. There's Brock out of the pits now. He's back in this. Well, not back in it, but he's back in the race. Limping. So Roman Rahal's still doing very well. Now sitting behind Jack Halleck, who is now 4th, so that means Rahal's in the top 5. But he's being challenged by William Duncan. But will not get there, as Arndt will also had to give up that position to Lorenzo Log. We said Lorenzo Log would be a threat once we reach these road courses, and he's showing it. Lorenzo Log now moves up another position into the 7th position. And we still got another possible 2 pit stops to go, if it goes that far. Benoit Ravine has gotten past Carson Bowers, so has Max Anderson. This means... Oh, now Hurley, the person who took Halleck down, now under threat by Fitzwater. How is this going to go? Hurley gets out into the curving, gets out of the way, and lets Fitzwater go. Fitzwater will retain the lead here in Sonoma. Benoit Ravine stuck behind Hurley now. Still gaining time on Fitzwater, though. Well, he was before he caught Hurley. Now he's going to have to get past Hurley. His goal should be get as close to Fitzwater as possible, if not pass him before this next pit stop, because Benoit Ravine is better in the pits than Fitzwater. He was a little bit faster, so he'll have to use that to his advantage, but he cannot stay behind Hurley. That's a big no, because he's losing time by the second. The more he stays behind him. Should be same for some of the people who gained a lot back here. Just get as much track position as possible before these next pit stops. Jackson, Arndt, Jones, Alog, all these people who really gained a lot on that pit stop really need to work on getting that track position, but should really focus on the pit stop. That should be their most important mark of this race. As for people like Roush, you look up here at Carlson. those people really need to start moving through the field because the pit stops is not where they shine. So they really need to focus on their track position more than anything, which is not very good since it's not working too well. Alex still stuck behind Bowers. Now Irvine has gotten past Hurley. Is it a clear track? Yeah, I'd say so. Because Philip Scott is running the same laps as Fitzwater, if not a little bit faster. Fast lap on track was out of Halleck at a 1:19.267. Did not just pull that because he's stuck behind Bowers, but... So Halleck works very fast today. Benoit Lervine has the second fastest, and then you got Philip Scott and Roger Ray, which this is the closest we'll get to Roger Ray's hometown. So Roger Ray trying to be a hometown hero here. He's 16th, has a while to go if he wants to get a win, so I'd more focus on the top 10. But it's going well for him today. Definitely good for Sabasport because they needed a good result. So now we need to watch Benoit Lervine. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him by the next set of pit stops. So his focus should be on just get as much time crunched down as possible. Which that's a 10th right there. Oh, Anderson being sandwiched by lap cars. Hurley not giving anyone else room but Fitzwater. Rahal just trying to defend from this huge train that's following him. I'm both surprised and I'm not surprised because it's a rank D ride. It's a very not a good ride. It's not a fast car overall. Used to be a fast car. Used to be one of the fastest out here, but he's still one of the most skilled guys out here. He's one of the most experienced. Like I said, I believe he has 3 wins under his belt. No, 2. 2. He has 2 wins under his belt. But still, Roman Rahal, such an impressive person as he's in the pits now. As he'll be the first to make the pit call this time, lap 18. No one else making that call, so it's the Carson Bowers situation. Definitely didn't work for Bowers. Not sure about how it's going to work for him. As Fitzwater is in the pits. What are you doing, Fitzwater? So here's the issue at hand. We know for a fact Fitzwater cannot make it to the end on this run. His tires will not let him. He's going to do everything he can, but I don't think he can do it all the way to the end, so I think he will have to pit again. So this kind of just gave away the win. So what about Benoit Lervine? He now has 3.3 seconds over Max Anderson, and a little more over Halleck because he's fighting with Hurley. Well, I see Duncan. Oh yeah. Rahal pit. Duncan now leading this little train as a log trying to catch him. This is where it gets important. Who's going to be the fast guys here? Benoit Lervine stays out. Anderson stays out. That's important. Halleck, I'm not sure if you can make it. These guys are making very smart calls. Jones is in. Oh! Oh, and trying to get into the pits. Oh! K and the hometown kid takes a hit. Let's see what happened there. This would start before that as Dodd would get... Oh, he would not think that Caesar would have that little speed. Would hit him. Paulson would hit him. And then where is... Oh, let me get that shot again. Here's this again. Ray gets clipped, tries to get back into the pits, hits the wall, and gets slammed by Dunbar. Luckily, Ray would be okay. He'd get out of the car. Frustrated with that, but he's going to have to deal with it. That sucks, though. Look back in. These people are being smart up here. Anderson, Benoit Lervine, Lorenzo Log, John Art. These people are being very smart about this situation. They cannot afford to pit right now. The others may be able to make it. But why risk it? Benoit Lervine never really put too much effort into catching Fitzwater. He got a 10th or 2 a lap. He wasn't really putting in 119s we thought he would do. So, maybe he's just trying to get these tires to the point where this second stop will be his last, and if so, then Ravine might win this race. He has one win to his name, Mid-Ohio, 2 seasons ago, if I'm correct. Season 2. Yeah, I'm correct. As Benoit Ravine now in lap 20, he should be able to make it to the end now. Same with Anderson, Lorenz Log, John Arndt, Nick Pericles. The problem with Paulson, he took damage in that. Roush is going to love that. That's what Roush needed. But everyone else filing into the pits. Faber's in as well. Benoit Ravine. He's in his stall. Should be another 4-tire call for the 7 car. As we're waiting, is Anderson going to be able to respond with anything? Nope. There is Fitzwater, and when Ravine gets Fitzwater in the pits, and that might seal the deal for Trailblazer to get another win this season. But Fitzwater has warmer tires. That could be an issue. And it looks like it's gonna be. Fitzwater now tails Ravine. Here he comes. Dive bombs him. Late braking. Can Ravine fight back? I don't think he wants to. Fitzwater, the more he pushes, the less time it's going to take for him to hit the pits. So, Benoit Ravine, though, now being hunted by Anderson. He can't let Anderson go, or Anderson will win this race. Anderson's on the same strategy that Benoit Ravine is on, the 2-stopper. So whoever gets it here could end up being the winner, and Anderson's going to get the spot. How is this going to change things? Oh no, Hurley's already caused issues today. Coming out of the pits. Ray Hall! Nope. Got it. Slowed down in time. Good, good. Jackson up to 9th. That's very impressive. Roush and Finguy doing actually much better now than they were before, so that's good for them. Aren't trying to hold on to a top 5. Let's look down to the people who are out of this race. Give me a sec. We'll skip ahead. We're now on lap 24. Here's the list of people who are out of this race. You got Laughter, Stuco, Gatlin, Downey, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Adam Vincent, that's Chase Dunbar, Roger Ray, Julio Caesar, and Philip Scott. Another retirement for Philip Scott. That is just frustrating. Philip Scott has been on a terrible bad luck streak, and it's going to continue. But a good day for some other people in this pack, as apparently Lorenz Log is not on the lead lap. So that's not good for him. But Anderson now challenging Fitzwater. It's teammate v teammate here in Sonoma for the win. Here comes Anderson. Anderson, don't push it too hard. You may waste too much tires, and that could cost you the entire race. Fitzwater versus Anderson here, and Anderson will get the spot. But is Anderson going to push it too hard? Could Benoit Ravine still be in the key position to win this race? Jackson and Jovic. Jovic took Jackson's seat at that team this season, and Jackson went to Epic Motorsports instead. So it's Jackson facing his old car. Roush gets past his teammate. Maybe Finguy forfeited the spot, trying to give Roush a little more of an advantage on Paulson. But it's not going to do any good when you got Fitzwater up here, who really needed a good day. And Fitzwater pits! What? we're hearing that Fitzwater has a tire down. He believes he has a puncture, and Fitzwater's going to throw the win away. A possible win from front row, all locked out by Fitzwater Australia, to the other Fitzwater Australia leading it, the one who wasn't even on the front row. Anderson was nowhere near the front in qualifying, and now he's leading with 5 to go. Can Benoit Ravine catch him? That's the question. Duncan's also doing very well, and could Arndt get a podium for himself? That'd be cool. Anderson. Does Anderson have to pit? With Fitzwater having a puncture, Benoit Ravine should be too far back. So Anderson should be able to tone it down a bit, but he's not. I'm not sure it's such a good call to keep it going at this pace. Obviously not going to pit. Oh, Dodd comes out of the pits in front of Benoit Ravine and holds him up. That should pretty much seal the deal for Anderson if he can hold on. If he doesn't have to pit again, it could hand the win to William Duncan now. If Anderson does have to pit, Arndt could be in this. This is the battle for second and third, because here is Arndt and here is Jones. Epic Motorsports really recovered a nice day for themselves other than, where that? What the hell is Caldwell? 21st. Ooh. Not too good for them. Silver Haas had a meh day today. But right now, it's all about Max Anderson. All eyes are on him. As we're coming to 3 laps to go. No one else making any pit calls. Benoit Ravine dive bombs a lug and Dodd. He is waiting for no one. He wants a chance at this win. He wants to prove he has the speed to do it. Everyone knows he does, but he just needs to pull it off. Those are the kinds of moves you need to do to pull it off, though. He's known as for being a very aggressive person. Actually, to the point of anger management. And that shows. He just went through a little bit of rehab for his anger issues, but it seems that it's still showing. He's still very aggressive out here, and he just passed 2 people in 1 corner. Now, the question is put up again. Anderson, do you need to pit? And if you do, does this hand the win to Benoit Ravine? Coming to 2 laps to go for Max Anderson. He won this race last season. It was such an amazing performance last year here in Sonoma for himself. Picked up his 3rd win of the season that time. 3rd win in 10 races. This used to be round 10, now it's round 9. This is what Anderson needed to turn his season around. Benoit Ravine's going to stay 2nd for now. Duncan right now is 3rd. This could end in many different ways depending on who has to pit. We should have already seen some of those pit takers. Carlson couldn't make it. Lewison couldn't make it. Carlson had such a good day. And that's going to go down the drain. But some other people really fighting for it, really want it. Max Anderson, do you have to pit again? He's got to push it. It doesn't matter if he has the tires to do it or not. I'd still go for it. You got a 7.5 second deficit. You can afford to stay out. Coming to the white flag, Max Anderson. He's gonna try. He's going to attempt to make it to the end. Benoit Ravine will do the same. Duncan will not. Jones will not. Hallett can't make it. Jackson can't make it. Jovic will. Can Roush. He's going to turn this entire race around for himself. Windhelm's going to put in a good performance. Paulson's going to continue to stay. But that doesn't mean it's over. Anderson still has to make it around one more time on these tires. Can he make it? Will his tires hold out? Only a little more to go. The chicane. One more time. Scott Johnson. I don't know where Roman Rahal is right now. Just bring it home. No need to rush anything. Benoit Ravine is way too far back to affect this now. He'll make the move on Rowe. Oh, really decreased his speed there. His tires are giving out. Rowe in the pits. And here we go. He won this race last season in dominant fashion, and he'll come out here and do it again. Max Anderson will get his 4th career win, and he takes the win for the 2nd year in a row here in Sonoma. Benoit Ravine will come home 2nd, and John Arndt will come home 3rd, and Scott Roush is going to round the final corner and take home what looks to be P4. Hercules rounds out your top 5. Windhelm in 6th. He's top 10 points. That's really what he needed. Finguy in 7th. Paulson still hauls a good points for himself in 8th. Baranowska's in 9th. And top 10, where are we rounding it? That's Duncan. One of the pit takers. Jackson almost had a good performance. He'll end it 13th. After a tire went down before the last corner, Fitzwater ends 16th. Carlson 17th. We said that pit strategy would play a huge factor in this race, and it proved. Max Anderson runs away with his 4th win and his 2nd coming at Sonoma. Let's go look at your finishing results. So it's Max Anderson taking career win number 4 for himself. Benoit Ravine 2nd, Arndt 3rd, Roush 4th, Pericles 5th, Windhelm 6th, Finguy 7th, Paulson 8th, Baranowska's 9th, and William Duncan will round out the top 10. As Scott Ganassi, even with Carlson having to pit near the end there, they still came home with a 3 and a 5, which is very impressive for them. Other notable names, like we said, Fitzwater had that tire go down. Brock had that contact with, I believe, Bowers. After Bowers brake checked him, Bowers is going to get a warning and nothing else. No points taken away from him. But they will be taking 1 strike to his name, so he'll have to watch out for that. 3 strikes, and that's going to be a 1-race suspension. But congratulations, Max Anderson. Let's go look at your points position. So it's Scott Roush retaining his points lead now by 66 points. He extended it just minorly over now Cordell, Paulson, Zachary Fitzwater, William Duncan, and then Alexander Rowe, who lost 3 positions in that whole endeavor. Did not have a good day here in Sonoma. Jackson jumps up to 6th, jumps in front of Mulcher, as Mulcher did also not have a good day. Brock in 8th, Pericles now in 9th, he's still in 9th. Windhelm in 10th. Benoit Ravine now takes the 11th position in points. Very impressive. He gained 5 positions in that, if I'm correct. Yeah, and he's now up to 11. So Benoit Ravine having his breakout season and scores his first top 5 of the season. As we look down a little bit further, we get down to people like Carlson, who gained 2 positions. May not be much, but it's something that helps him in this championship. Arndt gained 8. That's really going to help from 24th to 16th. Is that whole team doing very well? Finguy gained 6. He's trying to get his way up. Halleck gained 7. He's trying to get his way up. Dodd lost 7. And Anderson is in the top 20 now. He jumps back into this championship out of nowhere. He's tied with Halleck and Dodd in points. Now the worst rank A, if I'm correct, seems to be... Yeah, it looks like it is Carson Bowers. Wow. Really? Carson Bowers really not doing what he wanted to. He has a win this season, but other than that, it's just kind of been downhill for him. Tyler Thaber gained 3 positions, out of last in points finally. But he has a long way to go if he wants to win this championship. Now Roger Ray, after that scary incident, now in last with Philip Scott approaching last, which is not good for him. Rouse Racing Enterprises still leads Constructors points over Maverick GP, Epic Motorsports, Fitzwater Australia, and Scott Ganassi Racing now in a possible rank A position for themselves. Full Frontal and Cover Haas trail behind by not far. So that's a huge battle up there for rank A position. Trailblazer has overtaken Shock Allison and may be on their way up to a possible rank B position if it goes well enough. Monarch at Thundersport starting to do battle as Monarch just has been dropping off hardcore ever since Carlson left the team. Oh boy, this is going to be fun to announce. Next time we are going to Las Vegas for the first doubleheader of the season, which all the rules for that will be explained once we get there. So excited for how this is going to turn out. So many points up for grabs, and that points lead that Roush has could dwindle instantly. So I could see anyone, because right now, from Roush to Benoit Ravine, all those people have the potential to take the points lead. Jones is out of it just barely. Everyone else could take this points lead. Yes, Windhelm could do it, because there are 235 points up for grabs in Las Vegas. Then we move somewhere else. But we'll discuss that later. Oh boy. But yeah, next time we're going to Las Vegas, which we've been there every season, and it is a prestige race in the Sunoco Elite Series, now finishing out the American races. Congratulations to Max Anderson getting now on the top 20 in points and that 4th career win. Congratulations, Scott Roush, continuing to lead this points by 66. And until Las Vegas, guys, ciao.